Good evening, everyone. Let's bow down for a word of prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we come unto you this evening. We thank you for the gift of life and for enabling us to gather here for this launch, Jehovah Lord. Each and everything that we are going to discuss and to be taken through, Father, we pray that you be with us from the start to the end, Jehovah God. And we honor you and we adore you. For this short prayer, I pray trusting and believing. Amen.
Thank you very much. Karibuni sana. At this juncture, I'd like to recognize the presence of Honorable Justice, Supreme Court Judge Isaac Lenaola. Karibu sana. Caroline Oduor, is she here? I think I saw her. Yes, a senior lecturer at KSL. Bethel Kimani. Is Bethel Kimani in the room? Yes, Bethel Kimani, asante sana for coming to represent the government. He is from the he's representing the PS State Department, ICT and Digital Economy. Dr. Benson Okita, has he arrived yet? Don't think so. So, asanteni sana. We are now starting our program. My name is Deborah Aukotendo, and I'm here in my interest as the clients of lawyers, because you guys do not operate on your own. You need us. And all of us, all the industries, whether it's banking, logistics, we have moved on. We have all digitized. We have CRMs. We no longer deal with papers. But now when we have to come to deal with lawyers, you guys are still behind. So we've come here in the interest of knowing how we can all be on the same plane. So I'll be co-emceeing with...
my name is Ochibaba, President of Small Claims Court, and also the spokesperson of Arudola. Arudola is an association of running down lawyers. So I see my members are very many here. And Stendo was mentioning people, our former immediate president, Madam Faith walked in. We recognize you. And also President of Midba, Becky Mogire, karibuni sana.
Karibu sana Faith, karibu sana Mogire, karibuni sana. So now I think we are going to ask the question, and you're the one who's going to ask the audience why we are here. Do they even understand why we are here? And why this is such an important day in the profession?
I'll choose randomly, except leaving our guests or people from behind. Do you know why we are here today? Incoming Commissioner, karibu.
So good evening, everyone. Acknowledging the protocol already established. My name is Caroline Oduor. So why I'm here, I mean, as a practitioner, we are constantly grappling with the question of improving in our excellence, the quality and standard of services we give our clients. So I believe when I read about this, I believe there's something for me to learn, to take from it, and indeed in the end, to reflect well of the profession that we are in. Thank you.
Asante sana, Caroline.
Levi, how are you? We recognize you. From this end, gentleman, you're next to me. Why are you here?
Okay, my name is Victor Nkonge. I'm here for the launch of Wakili CRM.
What is Wakili CRM?
It's a software for the advocates.
What is it meant to do? There are so many softwares.
Okay,
That's why you're here. You're here to find out. Okay.
But basically it's for case management. Yeah. I think it's something that has been mentioned in our class for... Let me start by saying that I'm an advocate training student. So during our legal LPM class, our lecturer has mentioned the CRM platform to help in managing cases and that line.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finally, Ms. Are, do you want to speak so that we also hear your voice?
Good evening. My name is Misare, Managing Partner at Wilton Law. I'm here because I was invited to see a new product being launched that can help us streamline the management of practice and of the business.
Thank you.
I think a lot of you got the hang of it. Indeed, Wakili CRM is a case management platform built for the legal profession in Kenya. And this is home built. It's by Kenyans for Kenyans. So without wasting a lot of your time, I'm going to call upon the founder to give us a few remarks. Advocate Kevin Omwanza. Guys, can you give him a round of applause? We want to know why. Why did you build this Wakili CRM? What does it mean for us? What is the accountability? With digital comes accountability. What does it mean for lawyers? Asante sana.
Good evening. Karibuni sana. My name is Kevin Omwanza. I am the managing partner at Kevin Omwanza and Company Advocates, and also a co-founder at Wakili CRM. Thank you so much for coming, Judge Lenaola, President Faith, Dr. Ben, and all of you. Thank you so much. So I'll be spending the next few minutes talking about Wakili CRM and how it was conceived, and you'll allow me to read from my gadget today. And I was just explaining to somebody that we are distraction prone. All of us. We see something exciting and then it distracts us from the course of our day. Assignments, projects, deadlines. And that was me. That was me when I got admitted to the bar in 2022. Throughout my schooling, I was having a challenge with finishing assignments, tasks, and everything, and I always wondered, what's wrong with me? It didn't make sense because I knew my capabilities, and the people told me about my capabilities. But then when I got admitted to the bar, the responsibility of being an advocate, the fact that you have to deliver in time, that then something had to change. A friend of mine who I was having a conversation with told me that I could be suffering from a problem called ADHD. And then again, in another conversation with a developer friend, I told him about the challenges I am having. And I asked him, is there a way to get a system, a structure, so that then I don't have to depend on willpower to deliver? And then he told me that it's possible. I told that friend, let's get to work. We started building Wakili CRM 2 years ago. The idea was simple. As an advocate, every day I get to my office, I get to the CTS, I go to the judiciary cost list portal, I go to the email, I go to WhatsApp, all these scattered tools. Then I realized I cannot survive here. So we said, let's consolidate, let's bring all these tools to one place, so that then when I am in there, I don't have to leave. Wakili CRM then is a platform that consolidates everything. It handles client management, it handles case management, it handles billing, it handles research. It's built to integrate with the judiciary CTS. That's a conversation we can have on another day. But so far, it's working. I have been using it for 1 year. We've piloted, we've iterated, we have had other people look at it, use it. They have given us their feedback. We have asked questions about data protection. We have asked questions about the protection of information and files in the Wakili CRM. We've had people come do some penetration testing of the system to make sure that no person with malicious intent can actually intrude to the system and see what they don't need to see. We have built it and we are ready to share it with the rest of the world, to license advocates to use it. And we are inviting all advocates to interact with the platform and see if it's something that can actually turbocharge their practice and make them more efficient so that then they can deliver. Allow me make another note. About what we do. The intellectual backbone behind this work is a book written by a gentleman called Richard Susskind in 2008. The book is called The End of Lawyers, ? Rethinking the Nature of Legal Practice. And it's a book that I encourage all of us to find and read, especially in this time. It was written in 2008 before artificial intelligence came. And Richard Susskind had such a penetrating insight because he wrote for the UK and the US audiences. The things he predicted in 2008 are actually happening right now in the UK. The UK and the US are the legal antecedents of Kenya. We borrow a lot from them. The way their legal practice has evolved, that is the same pattern how ours will evolve. So what did he write in this book that can inform how we receive technology, how we think about legal practice? When he writes in The End of Lawyers, Rethinking the Nature of Legal Practice, he gives this very powerful and a profound insight. He says that the nature of legal services evolves in 5 stages. The first stage is bespoke. That is when a lawyer with his rare skill is able to administer and deliver boutique and unique legal services to his client because only he can do it. They're unique, tailored to the client's needs. The second stage is standardization, because when you do this thing over time and many people repeat it over time, then standards emerge, templates emerge. Then the third stage is systematization. Then we start building software that can deliver these templates, these same documents that lawyers were charging bespoke fees for. The fourth stage is packaging. At this point, people can actually download affidavits, they can download contracts, they can do all those manner of things. And then the last stage, and this is what worries Richard Susskind when he writes, is commodification. Commodification is when legal services are being offered at near zero. They are just a utility. They can be delivered by software. And we are talking about this in the age of artificial intelligence, and we know, all of us in this room, that it's possible to do so. So then, how can lawyers pivot? Because you know, Richard Susskind answers a very profound question. Are lawyers in the knowledge economy? Yes. And in the knowledge economy, most of these things can actually be delivered by artificial systems. And that is why we built Wakili CRM, because it gives lawyers control in the future. The clients have their portal from their end. But then they are not able to do anything in the platform without a lawyer in the loop, because it's only a lawyer who can ensure the quality of legal services delivered. So for us to evolve, we have to evolve with the time. We have to see the challenges of this moment not as a doomsday gospel, but as an opportunity for us to pivot to systems, to platforms that can actually amplify our capacity to deliver on legal services and become more efficient, deliver, because with Wakili CRM, let's say if at some point it's possible to do those templates, then lawyers will be making money while they sleep. A client can come, you have your stamp as a lawyer, you have your signature, on their end they are able to generate a document, but then the revenue goes to the lawyer who is a subscriber to their account. That is a conversation we are willing to start. We are not saying that that is the end, but it's a conversation we are starting with the relevant institutions in compliance with the law, and God bless us all. Thank you.
So there you have it. Are you convinced, or you still need more convincing? And for a profession that doesn't market, yeah? Are you convinced that this is timely and is needed in your industry? So at this juncture, what I want to say is that the world is very interesting. There are people who have vision. There are people who have dreams. And these are visions that can change the world. But they do not have resources. They do not have the networks. And then on the other end, we have people who have resources, people who have networks, but they don't have any dreams, they don't have any vision. So the sweet point of anything that has changed this world is always the person who has a vision and has a dream when they link up with people who have resources, people who have networks. So here we find Kevin. He has this idea, he has this dream that he feels is going to change how things are done. After reading that profound book, I read it too, probably around 4 years ago. And so at the back end of Kevin's dream, there's a group of people who believed in him, who put in money, who opened up their networks, and they're in this room. So, Ochibaba, I'd like for you to have them just introduce them and let them just wave to the crowd.
Thank you. Thank you, Tendo. Crowd, how are you? I've just heard that you are crowd. So they are co-founders, the people, brains behind this thing, you see. As she has said, great things you have to have people push you. Before I call them out, I tell you something about Kevin Mwanza. When we were in undergrad, we were writers, yeah? And we used to write against the administration. Me, Kevin, and Ogada. Akina Willis, those ones were good students. They don't want to ruffle administration, and funny. So every time the school used to come for them, they used to call me. And when the school see me around them, they were just being left to go. That's how great I was, Makofi. You know, Professor Chinua Achebe says that if
a gecko.
Yeah, if it not gecko really.
No, obongo bongo in Luo, yeah, obongo bongo.
Obongo bongo is some small animal.
I want it a lizard.
That is ngech.
Okay.
It is cousin of monitor lizard and gecko. We don't know what it is in English, yeah? If it climbs up the tree and there's nobody to clap for it, it claps for itself. So I'll just mention your names. We acknowledge, we really appreciate you for the good work you did. So we have Dr. Matunda Nyanchama. Just wave, please clap for him. Thank you very much, Daktari. We have Kevin Omwanza himself, Makofi. We have Billy Nyakawa, advocate, founder. Yeah, that's the father. I think will be joining us from.
So this vision was actually two lawyers, Kevin and Billy, and then Billy's father. Thank you so much, Dad, for believing in your son when he's looking forward at something and investing in it. Thank you so much. Santi.
Will he be joining us from Washington?
I think Billy was to join us from Washington. Will he? Boston. Ah, okay.
Okay, thank you. So we have Dr. John Nyakawa, Governance, Makofi. We have Engineer Michael Adwek, Developer, Makofi. Thank you, Engineer. We have Beryl Karimi, Communications. Beryl, ako wapi? Makofi jamani hata kama yuko. And then we have Engineer Clinton Rosana, Co-Developer, Engineer. Yeah.
That's it.
Last but not least, we have Claire Soit, Advocate, also co-founder. Makofi. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. So I think from a client's perspective, when it comes to corporate Kenya, I would like to give a case. I'm head of commercial at Fago Group, and we definitely have a lot of cases in the industrial courts because we are very employee heavy. We are always being taken to court for this or another. Maybe a client, one of our staff is injured during work. We are always having issues. And so there's this particular matter that we had back, I think, in 2006. And it happened in Kisumu where our landlord was suing us. We were moving from this office to a bigger office space, obviously, because we had grown. And this case went on, and the final determination came last year in 2024. You can imagine how long that was. How many years? 19 years. 19 or 18 years. So in 19 or 18 years, the staff at Fago keep moving in the legal department. The staff of our lawyer also kept moving. So when the determination came and the bill from the lawyers came, it was shocking, and we started to interrogate it, and we really struggled because this is 19 years, and some of the lawyers who were representing our landlord, they had left, they couldn't be found. Some of the staff from our side had left, and so we found that this was an issue because it was being manually done. And so I think from my perspective, when I heard that Wakili CRM is going to have a very straightforward and a very clean, neat, and traceable billing system, I think from my perspective in the commercial department, I think this is something I'm really looking forward to. From a personal perspective, one of the things that always surprises me is how a lawyer can just text you like at 10 in the night, your matter is coming up tomorrow. Why do you guys do that? You're not aware? You're not aware? So this is one of those shocking things usually when a lawyer is just texting you like at 10 that, oh, your matter is coming up tomorrow at 9, be at Kilimani. I'm in the middle of work, maybe I'm not in the country, maybe I'm traveling. So when I heard that we are going to have visibility of our cases, we are going to be able to predict, that is something that really caught me. And I was extremely, extremely interested in the Wakili CRM. The rest of the world has moved on, whether it's logistics, it's banking, whatever industry we have digitized. We have actually moved from digitization, we are now in AI, you know. And so it's always shocking when now we have to deal with wakilis and we still have to deal with papers. We still have to get instructions on WhatsApp. When you're attending a matter, you have to be called. These are all things, Kevin, that I hope are going to be sorted here because we have committed ourselves from the corporate world to see if this is actually a solution so that we actually tell everybody in the corporate world that now, tell your lawyer they have to join Wakili so that everything is straightforward, so that we are all on the same page. So those are some of the challenges, I think, from my perspective as a client and in the corporate world that I face. So probably Ochi, could you take the mic around to the Wakilis? I think the first answer I would like to, why do you guys text us at night and the matter is tomorrow. Probably that's the first answer I would like from any Wakili in the room.
Our president is here, please, sir.
The president.
Today, do you text your clients that late?
Thank you, Ochi. Curiously, as she was saying that, I just remembered to text my client that
Are you serious?
that her matter is coming up tomorrow. At least I've not done it at 10. It is a crisis.
Thank
and,
you.
It has escalated until I always imagine some of my clients even doubt my sanity at some point. And my big hair does not make it easier for them. So it essentially makes it clear how we are overwhelmed with the practice of the law and how we struggle to organize ourselves in light of a lot of juggling, because we are doing a business. We need to look for clients. You've heard of the analogy of a lawyer. You are looking for work. You are doing the work. After doing the work, which includes filing of pleadings and drafting pleadings, that's an intellectual discourse on its own. You then have to bargain for your payment, which is agreed, and later you have to pursue that payment. In the tough economic times that we are facing, someone will prefer pursuing payment as opposed to doing the real work. So it's a problem, and we need a solution so that our clients can restore the confidence in our sanity. I've even attempted to text one at 6 in the morning when the matter is coming up at 8.
What?
And I had an explanation. That's why we are here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Levi. You say by the time we are texting clients at 10, it means they have just sent that money at 9:59. So our mind opens when the money is sent. Anybody else?
Also concerns, if anybody has concerns.
Or any concerns?
Any concerns about Wakili CRM in terms of how it works, if you have any, because the developers are here, anything at all?
Yeah, we
Any
have a fair lady
questions?
here. Karibu.
So I'm probably texting you at 10 p.m. for you to panic like me. So it's client panic management. Because if I know I'm facing Fanny Wakili, Fanny's Kwega, if I know I'm facing her tomorrow morning na vile ni mkali, nataka to panic sisi wote. So client alala kipanic, me ni kipanic kuface Fanny. Yeah, probably why we text that late.
Thank you. Do you guys have therapists? Does the profession have therapists? All right, a third question.
Okay, here.
Or challenge, what you find is a challenge and you hope that being in this room today is going to be resolved.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Ben Okita. I came much earlier than you had anticipated, Madam. So I've been here for the last 2-3 hours, but I'm what we call amicus curiae. Yeah, I'm not of the legal profession. But then my concern here is when I was told about this, the thing that were ringing my mind were platforms like the M-Pesa, the bank systems, IBC, and what rang my mind was, can this one be hacked? We know some banks get hacked. Yeah, IBC sometimes also get hacked. I've never heard of Safaricom get hacked, M-Pesa get hacked, but with this one, how
They have recently, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so then how safe is this one? That is the question.
Thank you so much. So the CTO, I hope you've gotten that, because I'll expect when you're doing your presentation, you're going to be talking about safety, because definitely digital, there are issues always, even the AI. So at this point, thank you so much. Is there any other question from Wakilis? Okay, so at this point, I'm going to call a few people our very distinguished guests to come and tell us a word, speak to us. So I think in this order, I'm going to first call Caroline Oduor. Just give us a word, what you think is the reason why we are here and why it is important for this uptake. I think I'll follow it with Dr. Benson. I'll follow with Bethwell from the State Department. And then I'll follow with Rebecca Mogire. And then finally, the 51st President. So what we are doing here is, from your perspective, being practitioners or from your experience with the law, do you think this is needed, this is wanted, and is it timely, and should it be uptaken by the Wakilis and even the clients alike? So Caroline. You'll all come on stage.
Thank you, Tendo, Judge, our 51st President, my senior colleagues, all of us, good evening. I wasn't prepared for this, but it's an important occasion, and thank you for allowing me to have a minute here. As Tendo asked the question about why we text clients at 10 p.m. for a matter coming up tomorrow, it took me back to my very early years of practice when my immediate boss would emphasize to me that communication to client is at the center of managing client relationship. And that anytime you secure a date in court, as much as possible, within 24 hours, you must communicate that to the client. And so you can only be doing a reminder maybe 2 or 3 days before that particular date. But I guess a lot has happened to us as advocates in practice. A lot has caught up with us. And as Levi was explaining, you could very well see that it is not intentional, that the kind of communication sometimes happens that late. So in the midst of these many things that has caught up to us as practitioners, I think what we are reminded is that we must not let our guard down in terms of standards. And even ethics, professional ethics, if you like. And so indeed, CRM comes in handy to help us uphold those standards of communicating to the client. And indeed, when you're organized administratively, it helps you also to organize intellectually. So it all complements the work that we do, the service that we give our clients, and of course, raising the bar high in terms of the legal profession. So yes, I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to learn more from this. And while I'm here, maybe I could take the opportunity to pose a question to the engineer. One of the key things that has also come about with the technology, and which interlinks with us professionally, is the question of confidentiality of client information. So this CRM, as we key in all that information that relates to our client, at the back end in terms of the database, who can access that? Who is storing that? Who is responsible for that? And how does that sit with our duty to ensure that our client information is confidential? So thank you very much. I look forward to learning a lot more from us. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. Dr. Benson, 5 minutes, 3 minutes of your thoughts.
Thank you very much. I've been given 3 minutes, all protocols observed. My name is Ben Okita, and I'm not of the legal profession. I said it earlier. I'm in the conservation sector. I'm director of an organization called the WIS Academy for Nature. We do people-nature coexistence. We are based in Nanyuki, and we're also here in Nairobi. I also co-chair a group of IUCN. IUCN stands for International Union for Conservation of Nature, and this group is the global scientists of African elephants. So I'm in the conservation sector, not legal sector. Yeah, but when this was mentioned to me by Wakili here and my friend Kevin, I was in his office a few weeks ago. We were trying to transact some business, and he mentioned to me we are emailing all the time and sending texts, just as Madame here said. And he mentioned, like, but Ben, what about this software? Why don't we get this to you so that we can open for you a portal and we can do these transactions? And immediately I said, why not? Let's do it. Yeah, and that in itself, the reasons I was like, we must do it were mainly two reasons. You asked for this. One was when it comes to this texting and sending messages and trying to follow cases, sometimes it takes so long to get that communication going. Yeah, and with this portal, I thought, yeah, this is something which is really a good idea, a noble idea. Let's do it. Yeah, the second reason is, based on what I do, we source a lot of legal advice from different firms. And for that reason, I said, let me come here and get to listen, get to know how can we track our cases. Yeah, sometimes the kind of charges that we get, we are like, are you sure it took that long? Where is it? You know, those kind of questions. So the element of transparency, I think, for me was so important. And for that reason, I extended the invitation to our head of finance. He's with me here. Mr. Nganga Anthony is seated there, because he deals with these legal services that we source all the time on a regular basis. So again, that is the second reason. And the third reason was to get a feel of how does this work. At my initial comments, I alluded to that by asking, how safe is it? So I want to get a feel of how safe this platform is, so that when I upload my documents to Wakili, Kevin here, then I'm confident that all is good. Yeah, and at the same time, I said, let me bring my son, he's with me here, Rajan, to come and get a feel of what the programmers do. He's a programmer. So then he gets a feel of what the back end of this is and how it is done. Yeah, and Justice Lanaola, my son just told me that you sit with him in a committee of Alliance High School. Yeah, so he sees you so regularly. Yeah, it's executive committee. So it's great really to be here. I'm really pleased that this is taking shape, and listening to what Kevin said, we are moving into that phase where, you know, you don't want to keep running left, right, center, moving papers, yeah, sending runners here and there, things getting lost. And in this digital phase, why don't we embrace it? Yeah, and just to give you a quick, very 1-minute story, another reason is there's a time that I engaged another lawyer somewhere in Nakuru to do for me a transaction. And it took him almost 2 years, and he never completed, and he took the money, and he just gave up. Yeah, so again, I was saying, if we had this kind of system, all that process will have been documented in a nice way. It will be up there. I would be tracking and getting a feel of where is my case as we speak. You know, so thank you very much, and I think I really appreciate being invited, and I'm looking forward to learning more and putting this into practice. And all the best, Kevin. Well done.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to have Bethel Kimani from the government, representing the PS State Department, ICT, and the digital economy. Karibu sana. 3 minutes. or less.
Good evening, good evening, Honorable Justice Lenaola, leadership of the Kenya School of Law, and distinguished guests and everybody present. I am privileged to stand before you this time, and I'd like first of all to recognize my colleagues that I came with from the State Department for ICT and Digital Economy. They are at the back. Maybe they could stand and wave to the crowd, to the team. Thank you. First of all, secondly, I'd like to pass the apologies from the Principal Secretary, Engineer John Tanui. He had other work engagements, but he sent us to represent him in this important forum. And this is a magnificent step in terms of digitalization on which the government of Kenya is keen on, is currently pursuing in terms of creating an enabling environment in making work in the digital transformation in the government of Kenya and also nationwide through the development of digital infrastructure, regulations, and facilitating regulations, and even promoting software development locally. And this is a very good initiative that we are being, as a ministry, as a State Department, we are proud to be associated with development of the Wakili CRM. I can maybe, from my experience in government, I was part of the ICT team at Office of the Attorney General at some point. And there we have many registries. There are many departments that do legal. They, in terms of supporting the Honorable Attorney General in achieving his or her mandate. And I could relate even from the presentation from the leadership from Wakili CRM, the organization. I could relate from the challenges that we experienced in terms of digitalization of the many processes, and I see this as a very good platform in terms of moving forward, how government can collaborate even with local solution providers in terms of digital transformation. And I want to say thank you once again for this, and the ministry is open to partner in terms of ensuring the platform, we have their resources that can be able to, the resources that we can partner with in terms, there are many platforms that we can use or facilitate in terms of hosting. There are digital hubs that have been set out across the country, and all these ecosystem will be very important in moving the agenda across. My one last point is I'm keen to understand how there's a government interoperability framework that was launched last week at the Connected Africa Summit, and it talks about how systems need to be end-to-end, and they're able to exchange information with other systems. That is the integration bit. We'll be keen to see how this system can be integrated with government systems in terms of the legal mandate and how, it can be done on a secure platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So next I'm gonna call the president of the Midbar, Rebecca Mugire. Karibu sana wakili.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Justice Lenaola, the founders, everyone that is here, my partner, Faith Odhiambo, and everyone that is here, good evening. Yes, my name is Rebecca Mogire. how did I end up here? Billy, I think, is a cousin. The father is here. The father, I think, is uncle. We come from the same village. So we are IT savvy. Well, people who talk a lot about Embarambamba, you see, the kind of things that we do. So Kevin, I am glad, and all your co-founders, for what you are doing. About Wakili CRM, I am interested actually to understand what CRM stands for. Wakili CRM, what is CRM? The abbreviation CRM. I think I'll get that from Kevin. But I'm happy to be here, especially as a member of the Mid-Bar. I remember one time Justice Lenaola was asking who's mid-council. We are those advocates who are neither young, we are not old, we are just there, no one thinks about us. We are busy taking care of children. My son, Fabian, is here. He's at Strathmore, first year. Fabian, you can wave. I brought him so that then he can understand what young people are doing. And because he has the intention of getting to the legal profession, especially at this time when you are getting to the digital era, then it's important for him to understand. So as a member of the Mid-Bar, why CRM would be important to me and of much interest to me is that we have too many things. We are getting to that level where we are likely to forget a lot of things. Call clients at 10 p.m. to inform them that a matter is coming up the next day, but I thank God I've not done. I'm fairly disciplined in the profession. I try as much as possible to notify my clients in good time. In terms of billing, honestly, in a law firm we have corporate clients, and then we have the individual clients who bring the divorce matters, the children matters, those matters that the CJ said should go compulsorily go for court and next mediation. So those particular matters, most of the time, because the individual clients who pay little money, every other time a client will come, give you 30,000, give you, maybe you've billed to 50,000 or whatever. Sometimes you actually lose track. You don't know how much they paid, how much is the balance, you finish the matter. And I realize as a law firm, many times you actually lose out on fees. Because you finish a matter, the client goes away, you probably were never paid the full fees because of how these clients pay. I believe then the Wakili CRM will be important to some of us. The other issue maybe will be to the developer, maybe some bit of concern. Now that advocates in terms of professional responsibility, assuming that system is hacked and the client's information is out there, who bears responsibility? Is it the founders? Is it me as the advocate who has that responsibility to my client to keep the information confidential? So that bit of the information in terms of data protection, how much is out there? Is it as other people able to access, or is just myself and the client and all that kind of information? So I think I'll be here to just see the developer, of course, showcase what exactly CRM is about, and we'll be happy to learn and promote this. So to the founders, you've done a great job. We are here to support you. Thank you very much.
So at this juncture, I'm going to call the 51st president of the LSK, the second female president in history. Ebu ongezeni makofi.
The Honorable Justice Lenaola, Supreme Court Judge, founders of this amazing app, my colleagues in the legal profession, my partner Rebecca, and all of you present, good evening. First of all is congratulations. I got here because Billy's dad sent an invitation. And so Billy, you really need to thank your dad. And because of his relation to my partner, she was not going to allow me to escape, but I will escape after my speech because I'm a bit under the weather, but I had to come and support. Now, Rebecca has talked about certain elements and aspects that any partner would be concerned about, But I guess maybe I should talk about also concerns that members would have at a general level. When we talk about billing, how is this data and information going to be taken vis-a-vis KRA? Advocates in the House, we know our relationship with Kenya Revenue Authority, and now upcoming is now AML, which we're supposed to comply, and how will it help in us actually putting together the work? I would say that Lipa na M-Pesa came as a good way to help discipline. Because in the farm, for me, it was a way to discipline yourself from receiving monies from clients, particularly those who tell you, the small clients, let me send you money. You don't want to mix your personal finances with client finances. So those ones who want to send small monies, they can pay through pay bill, goes to the bank account. But as fate would have it, KRA decided to use it as a tool to monitor and tax more Kenyans. So that's a tool that most businesses are even phasing out. And now most people are using withdraw by agent. So as ingenuity comes, also Kenyans become more ingenious to be able to manage those challenges. So KRA will be a real issue in terms of billing, and will their payments be able to be tracked? Will they come with directions and say they want access to that information? And how well are you able to protect access to that information? When we talk about data protection, M-Shwari started as a tool of ingenuity between Safaricom and that time CBA to be able to ensure that they're able to loan the risky small clients through your phone. They're able to loan you, and then they build credit reference. Now, this credit reference over time is a very expensive piece of data that I'm sure is being sold by M-Shwari to certain individuals to be able to classify citizens that don't fall within this ambit of the general populace who use bank and the strict other avenues of being able to rate someone's ability to repay back a loan, because that one is more risky, there's no security, and it depends on someone's discipline. And so that's data that is quite expensive and hard to get, that only M-Shwari between Safaricom and NCBA who actually have. So the question also in data protection, and as a partner would be worried, as Rebecca had said, when we're dealing with clients' information, the partners, the co-founders are advocates. We are competition. I don't want to give you access to my information of my corporate clients, which you might also use to build your own database and your experience. And particularly clients who are PE clients, who are highly private and volatile, and some quite sensitive clients. So that is also a question that you need to answer, and how safe, secure, and how do you keep your hands from the cookie jar, being also a competitor, equal competitor in the market. But I would say that this app, for me, I came also to listen with regards to communication. So Rebecca has mentioned the way the overnight communications being done. Like, I don't accept overnight communications, particularly even at the farm, because how we were trained, there was always bring-ups that should have been done. So that's a responsibility of the clerks to ensure bring-ups are done on time, and then the advocates to be able to review that file before a week or a week and a half before the matter actually comes to court. So there's no excuse, and you should have met the client, you should have prepared the client. So these are things that were instilled in terms of our training, but I understand because of the challenge of not having the opportunity to work under pupil master for everyone for 2 years, that could be a challenge. And this app comes to be the equalizer to ensure that irrespective of you not having had that opportunity, you have this opportunity to help you learn and pace and manage yourself. And communication still remains a very crucial factor, because a lot of the DT cases that come before the Law Society continue to be on failure to communicate to the client. Talking to a client on phone is not adequate. There must be a follow-up email and follow-up letters, because clients are human beings who tomorrow will deny. And that's why you always advised even do the legal opinion, particularly if you feel this matter may not be favorable to that particular client. And so I say this app really is timely and will enable clients, you to help advocates deal with that aspect. As well as I attended a training for managing a law firm, and something that I really liked about it, that international lawyers were talking about, is managing a client in this 21st century. With regards to, have you ever thought about dropping certain clients? And the question is, have you done a risk analysis of your clientele? And is this app also something that you can think about? How do you analyze clients? The clients that are more grief than benefit to you as a firm. And maybe that's the next level as well that would be going, because as you manage client portfolio and client information, then you'll be able to look at risk factors. Why should I continue to maintain a client that is bleeding us more than helping us grow as a law firm? And so I want to congratulate you once again, because this is quite timely. Running a law firm as a business should be the key ethos that all of us should aim to aspire. I think sometimes we forget that this is just a vehicle of investment that you're using to run your practice. And it should be able to bring back profit. It should be able to make sense in terms of how much you're inputting in this business. And we should be able to use technology to leverage on time management. And you're able to spend more time looking for clients and ensuring the work is done, communication is done on time. You're able to manage and keep files better, because storage is expensive. Not everyone can afford huge offices, but we are moving to a situation where we'll be having more and more virtual offices. Most people work at home. I'm sure even judges have sessions where they are working from home. And so your ability to access your information through an online platform and portal without needing to shuffle through several files. And were appearing before some court of appeal matter recently, and so we're asking the younger colleague to check this and that, and while we're shuffling papers, then they have already gone on their computer, referenced this, and pushed it to us, like the power of technology. So I think as lawyers, even as we ask our question, is this profession sustainable? I think you can never replace the mind of a lawyer. This is our minefield. And thank you for mining that field to come up with an app that can enable us to work better, to work smart, more efficient than the normal way that we do our work. So the future is in our younger profession, and I urge that we embrace technology that will enable us be able to work smarter, work better, and more efficiently. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Asante sana. So at this point, I will request that we all stand up, stretch a bit. Tunaenda tukimaliza, because now we're going to have a very star-studded group of lawyers here for a panel. Please stretch. Mikono juu, kila mtu. Sideways. Around. Turn around. Okay, sit down kindly. All right, so we have a panel, and it will not take a lot of time. I'm going to be asking each of them at least a question so that we bring everything into context. So, Levi Kariuki Munyeri, kindly clap for him. Munyeri is a Nairobi-based litigator and senior associate at Kimani Kiaria and Associates, where he heads the litigation and tax department. A Kenyatta University School of Law graduate, admitted to the bar in 2019. He has rapidly built a practice spanning tax litigation and the Tax Appeals Tribunal. the High Court and the Court of Appeal. He's among Kenya's pioneer defense advocates in tax criminal litigation. Is Levi in the room? I want you to come forward. For us as non-lawyers, what we remember him for is for taking State House to court. Yeah, he didn't want a church built at State House. I think that was really amazing. Please clap for him. So the next panelist we're gonna have is George Okenyo Omwansa. Omwansa is the founder and proprietor of Okenyo Omwansa and Co Advocates, a Nairobi-based mid-tier firm serving a diverse clientele across corporate and commercial law, dispute resolution, real estate and conveyancing, and intellectual property. The firm has a notable digital content presence, regularly publishing legal guides on matters, including the Finance Act of 2025, patent procedure, and AI-driven developments in tax administration. George. And I think George is the guy who challenged marketing for lawyers, and LSK had to do something about it. Could you kindly clap for him? My next panelist is Claire Soit. Claire Soit holds an LLM in international commercial law from the University of Cambridge. She's also a Chevening scholar and is an MBA candidate. She was admitted at the Kenyan Bar as advocate number 20,000. That was a special number. I remember the CJ talking about it. Her professional experience spans Cambridge University Press and Assessment, Kaplan and Stratton, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. So Claire brings a global aspect to what we're discussing here. Karibu sana Wakili. And finally, but not least, Beryl Karimi. This is a communications expert and also the product head of Wakili CRM. I think Beryl is the person who put everything together, bringing all of us together, organizing and everything. As you rightfully said, Wakili, you're very busy. Kevin could not really run around calling people, coming up with all these things, calling Tendo, we need this. So it's Beryl who did that. So, asanteni sana. I need to find a place to sit. So I don't know whether I should be upstanding or... Okay, karibuni sana. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much for coming to this launch of the Wakili CRM. So very quickly, I'd like to start with you, Levi. How does a practicing litigator, not a partner, not a technologist, actually experience the threat and opportunity of legal tech? I think Kevin already spoke about the book that he read. I would like to understand from your perspective as a practitioner, what are the threats that you can see that are already encroaching in the profession? What would it take for an advocate of your profile to trust a platform with his client relationships on matter pipeline? First of all, I think putting it into context, the question, I think, is what is the threat that you can feel as a lawyer?
Thank you so much. Just a slight correction on my bio. I think it was taken for some time back. Currently, I practice in the name of Style and Style of Munyeri Advocates. So coming to the question, technology is treated with a lot of enthusiasm and at the same time with a lot of suspicion. So the bottom line is, as we embrace technology, then we have to look at both sides. What benefit does it accrue and what threat does it pose? Specifically concerning Wakili CRM and a practitioner of law, the president of the Law Society tried to summarize the threats that can arise from the use of such platform. One, and this is from purely a business perspective, we are in business and we are in competition. You find some advocates who actually take files and put in the strong room, and this is under an apprehension that even their own associates or clerks can steal their clients. So when it comes to such a platform, which can be accessed by a number of people, then an advocate feels that a competition can actually get access to such information from whatever source and likely pose a threat to his or her business. So that is one of the issues. We have to find a way of tackling it. It can also be arising from a lot of apprehension that is not real, but we should develop a trust in such system. It can have multi-layered security aspects so that us who put 3 or 4 files in a strong room or even at home, we can have one specific login that is not accessible to other people. If you at all feel that if information about that client, including the phone number or email, can put your business at threat, then you have full control of such information. The aspect of leak of information and data protection is important for such platforms in the sense that we have an obligation to protect the data of our client, and the buck stops with us. If such data leaks, then we expose ourselves to litigation. So it must be completely protected from such data leaks so that we are compliant with data protection and such a platform does not risk us jeopardizing the privacy and data of our clients. Those two is what I'll mention as we start.
Thank you so much. So the issue, Kevin, the issue of access is coming up in a very big way. Who can access the information at Wakili CRM? Do other partners or clerks, or the secretaries? There's some files definitely that are very confidential. What does this mean when we put these cases at Wakili CRM? Claire, I'll come to you next. There's a mic, there's a roaming mic there. So because you have really been in the global space for a very long time, and I know that the global world, even when it comes to law, has really, really developed. We've been left behind. When you look at practice in the UK, in the US, Canada, they have really gone ahead when it comes to digital. So I would like to know from your perspective, when digital infrastructure for legal services is built, who sets these standards? Yeah? And what happens when no one does? And the other thing I would like to know is that what role should the LSK play as a quasi-regulatory body? Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you. I don't know whether you can hear me. Thank you for that question. So I've had the opportunity to work in a different jurisdiction. And to be honest, they're quite far ahead compared to where we are, and especially with data protection as well. So in relation to your question, I think it's the industry that sets the standards. It's the industry that also demands for further protection. But aside from that, the government also has to have a hand in perhaps coming up with proper legislation that can help protect data and cybersecurity. I'm not sure what was your other question as well.
I was looking at the LSK.
Okay, yes. So the LSK actually has a really important role to play in the sense that it can encourage a lot of law firms to pick up technology. I think I speak for a lot of firms when I say that it's still done quite traditionally. You have physical files, You have diaries, which are, we love our diaries as lawyers. I remember that's the first thing that I was gifted in the farm when I became an advocate. They were like, here's your diary now, you are a proper lawyer. But I guess with the advent of technology, we really need to rethink how we do our matters, how we handle client files, and that is where I think the LSK comes in. And aside from that, I think the LSK can also spearhead data protection and cybersecurity. So in law firms, we deal with a lot of sensitive and confidential matters, and I'm very sorry to say, but data protection has not been taken quite seriously in this country. One of the first things that you're taught in whatever capacity in the UK, you have to pass data protection. It is mandatory. And you also have to pass your cybersecurity examination before you start your job. It's part of the compliance. Yeah, because what we believed in the UK, and especially when I worked at Cambridge University, I went to Cambridge and then I worked for the university, was it's not if you'll get attacked, you will have a cyber attack. It's when, because it's almost inevitable in this day and age. So what we want to do with Wakili CRM, and what I think I'd also encourage the CTO to do, is to prepare for such attacks. Everybody has to be prepared for such attacks. But what do you do when you're attacked? How do you respond when you're attacked? And that's why I'd like to borrow from the UK. They have very stringent laws on cybersecurity. So for instance, if you're attacked, did you communicate to all your clients? I still get a lot of emails from companies that I perhaps subscribe to in the UK. So if there's any slight issue with their data, they have to send you emails. And I think that's the kind of compliance, that's the kind of, I guess, professionalism that we should expect from lawyers, and also the kind of, I think, input that LSK also has to have. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. So now, George, to you. So as the advocate who broke open legal advertising in Kenya, what do you make of the next frontier when it comes to platform-mediated legal services? The other thing is, has the profession taken full advantage of the opening of the 2012 judgment created? Or do you think it's still not taken up? This is about advertising, lawyers advertising their services.
Thank you, Tendo, for those two questions, and I hope I got them right. I took my time to just make sure that I will answer exactly what you've asked me. The first question is, what do I make of platform-mediated, is it settlements? Yeah, the services, the platform-mediated services. And the second question is, has the profession taken up or taken advantage of the 2012 judgment? Now, maybe allow me to begin with the 2012 judgment. And this is the judgment that liberalized the legal practice environment by allowing advocates to advertise or to market, and to also allow young advocates, as it were, to open firms, possibly right immediately after admission. And of course, even as I submit on this, I am well aware of the arguments for and against this particular judgment, but over time, I believe I've been able to make a good case as to why this had to happen at exactly this, at exactly when it happened. Now, has the profession taken advantage of that? Not really, but there has been tremendous improvement and intention to take advantage of that particular judgment. And this is what I mean. Now, what next after liberalization of marketing and advertisement of legal services? What next? My answer to that would be, the what next should have been initiatives like the CRM, that now that you can advertise and get clients, that is not the end of practice. What is it that we should have taken advantage of? We should have taken advantage of streamlining and reinforcing the other aspects that support the benefits of advertising. For example, if you are to open your law firm today and you had an avalanche of clients at your doorstep, are you able to effectively manage these clients? Are you able to effectively deliver on what exactly they require of you? Initiatives like Wakili CRM are the initiatives that should be able to answer that particular need, and to answer it in the sense that getting clients is not everything about managing of law firms. There are lawyers out here who are very good at getting clients, but very poor at executing what they've, the clients they've actually onboarded. And vice versa. There are also clients who are very good at executing, but very poor at getting these particular, clients. So the CRM and the advantage that we should take is to reinforce all the other aspects that are attendant to the advantage arising from advertising and marketing. Human resource, IT, and AI. Of course, right now it's not IT, it's AI. All these other aspects about client acquisition and retention, and so on. So I believe the profession has not fully taken advantage, but they've made strides, and there is quite some improvement towards taking advantage to that. The first question was what I make of the platform-mediated services. Of course, this is what Kevin was talking about. Like you'd go to either a CRM or an app or something, and you're able to get a legal solution out of something that has been provided from possibly an IT platform. My position is that we are not yet there as a country. We are not yet there as a profession that the general population would comfortably get to an app, key in words about a land matter, seek to get an answer or a solution or a judgment, and want to rely on it 100%, as the gospel truth of the solution they've been looking for in the mediation or the dispute they have. So I think we still got a long way, and my position has always been, yes, there could be a threat to the profession in terms of the development in law, but the threat might also be a bit distant. And as Saskind also put it, these things, the developments and the evolution and AI and so on, will only be a threat to those lawyers who have not aligned themselves to that particular change. So I think that will be my position in regards to that.
Thank you so much for that. I think I agree with you, and from a commercial perspective, because what I do for a living is to sell, is access. When it comes to Wakili CRM and somebody has a matter, somebody has a problem in a place like Lodwar, and we always see them on social media writing, "Hi guys, does anyone know if there is a lawyer in Lodwar? Hi guys, does anyone know if there's a lawyer in blah, blah, blah?" So if Wakili CRM is here and it has all the lawyers, including where they are, it's very easy, and I guess that is where people like me come out to really shout about the fact that it exists. It's not necessarily marketing a specific lawyer, but telling the world that there is now a platform where whether lawyers market themselves or not, you can actually find them if you want to. So Beryl, I'm coming to you next. What are other countries doing? Obviously, Claire has been in the UK. The organization I work for is a global one, Wells Fargo, and obviously we have international cases. I mean, in America, we see how the legal frameworks are there. And when we compare to what happens here in Kenya, it's a pale shadow. So what have the rest done about the digital space? Then the other thing is, why is it necessary for us to build our own digital infrastructure? Because Wakili, I think, is a Kenyan one for Kenyan lawyers. Why is it important for it to be tailor-made to us, to the lawyers in Kenya, and to us as the Kenyan clients to Kenyan lawyers?
Thank you very much for the question. A huge part of what I do at Wakili CRM is research. And when I started working at Wakili CRM, the first thing I did is I had to look at law societies in other countries across the world. How are they interacting with technology? I was really surprised to learn that technology is no longer the future. Technology is the present, and we have a lot to catch up on. Because in countries like the US, they started in 2012. In countries like Canada, 2018. In the UK, they practically have sandboxes that if someone is building a technological platform for lawyers, they have to belong there so that the profession can build with them. That's why even part of why we have introduced Wakili CRM the way we have is that I understood that you cannot build in isolation. You have to build with the profession you're trying to build for, because you do not understand their needs. So I started by actually doing questionnaires with lawyers. And what I learned is that Wakili CRM is also not the first product in the market. We have had products that have been here for as long as 10 years. It's just that they haven't had the huge market adoption to be noticed. Something else I realized is that the law firms that have resources, they are already using platforms from other countries. And because those platforms, they cost a lot, you find that the people who are not yet exposed to technology are young advocates and young law firms, you know? And the danger of that, in that we are not building our own platforms, is when another platform comes in and conquers the market, the most you can do is you can advise, but you can never build standards for that sort of platform. And we have seen this with Meta, with WhatsApp, which has introduced adverts very recently on status updates. So if a platform is able to conquer the Kenyan market right now, it means Kenyan lawyers are always going to have to be at the mercy of that platform. So, in understanding that, I also did write LSK brief, because I felt like, yeah, this is a ripe time for the profession to build with a platform, for them to have a say, you know, because even during building of this, I had to understand, like, what sort of features do lawyers need? What is more urgent for them? You know, because we weren't building from an abstract point of view. I needed to understand that. And part of that is that even for this platform, they do need to have standards. And because again, also with the coming of AI, we have seen a lot of AI Kenyan platforms, and lawyers are already using them. At the same time, when you look, for example, at the LSK website, there isn't any bit that will tell you these are the compliant platforms that lawyers should be using. Meanwhile, when you look at a country such as Scotland, they practically have an accreditation scheme. That is, before even developers start building for lawyers, they have to take a little bit of training with them and get an accredited badge that allows them to build for the profession.
So yes, we are way behind, and yes, we should not let the market set standards for the legal profession. That is going to be very bad itself. So I've had as I've listened to lawyers, they have a lot of fears, and a way of conquering those fears is by joining the technology side and building together. Thank you.
I agree absolutely. I mean, please clap for her. She's the person who put all of us together. I think from my perspective, anytime there is any revolution in the human development, whether it is cars, whether it is aeroplanes, the age of computer, there'll always be a certain resistance, and the resistance is always, this has come to replace this. This has come to replace us. But I think what Faith said was extremely important, that what is in your mind, what is in our mind as human beings cannot be replaced. But at the same time, we need, because the world is going digital, and a lot of industries have actually gone digital, it will be important that lawyers also take advantage. Lawyers take advantage. So I'm really surprised to understand that there's actually a CRM that has been here for the last 10 years. Are you guys aware of it? Anyone from the crowd, are you guys aware that there's a CRM already? Why aren't you using it? Okay. No, a Kenyan one. They're trial-based. So probably developers, that's an issue. You guys haven't looked at a market that you need to get into that is still not digitized. But lawyers also, the uptake is extremely important. When we speak about Wakili CRM and 6 months from today, a lot of you have not tried it, have not started speaking about it, then obviously it might be doomed to fail. So there is Kevin coming up with the idea, the developers bringing the tools to you, us making noise about it and bringing you guys in the room to discuss it, and then you guys committing, to actually start using it and tell Kina Kevin, these are the issues we are getting, yeah? So thank you so much, Beryl. So I think I'll just go around the table with one question, with a question, a blanket question to all of you. But if you have any other thing that you need to add, you can add at this point as we wind up. So the question is, what does responsible technology look like from the courtroom outward? I'll repeat again. What does responsible technology look like from the courtroom outward? Who'd like to start? Claire?
Thank you. So first of all, it has to be safe. And I think this is in connection to what the lovely lady has just mentioned. Actually having data sovereignty is very important in this day and age. I've been privileged to work for a very big firm in Kenya, and I think we were one of the first few firms to use a CRM. It made our work extremely easy. I was a pupil at that time, and it was so easy to come up with pleadings and to look up different cases if you needed to, and to also refer to other cases that the law firm had handled. But what I would like to stress is the fact that having homegrown Kenyan solutions is way better than relying on foreign solutions, in the sense that the data that Wakili CRM will be able to generate will be hosted in Kenya. It will be safer in Kenya. And one of the things that we are currently facing, and I had to do a lot of this while I was in the UK, is data transferability. If you transfer data here, if a foreign system is hosted, for instance, in South Africa, our data, our client data, is hosted there, or is hosted in a different jurisdiction. How safe is that? That data is extremely powerful. It is also very, very costly, in the sense that it can be sold to improve certain systems. And what we were discussing about Wakili CRM is that if more and more law firms and more lawyers use this system, the data that this system generates can be used to influence policy, can be used to inform LSK decisions, can be used to help the judiciary or other institutions to actually upgrade and develop legal practice. So that's why, for me, it's so important that we have our own homegrown solutions. And just to answer the question that you asked, first of all, the system has to be safe. Technology has to be safe, and it has to adapt to the changing needs of the industry. So for instance, and I would really emphasize on this because I don't think it has received the attention that it deserves, cybersecurity is very, very important. Yeah. So whichever system that you're using, is it safe? And how safe is it? And in case there's an attack, how easy can it respond to an attack? And lastly, what I'd like to mention is the fact that technology has to speak to the people. It has to be owned by them. So if people don't understand, if you make technology too complicated for people to use, it's not going to be helpful. It's not going to serve them. That's why when Kevin showed me the system, my first response was that if you want your clients to use this system, then it has to be as simple as possible. You know, if you make something complicated, then it just becomes a hurdle. It doesn't solve any problem. It actually creates more problems. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
The question was, what does responsible technology look like from the courtroom outward?
Okay, so as far as responsible technology is concerned, when it comes to the legal profession, my blueprint is the judiciary, because the judiciary did go digital already, and it's actually helped, and it's made things easier, you know. And responsible technology means that when it comes to building this platform, lawyers are not regarded as customers. They're regarded as partners. And also lawyers have that willingness to, you know, consider the tech platforms as partners, because if lawyers are not partners, it's the market which is going to set the standards and the rules and everything. And because they will have failed to step up to their duty to ensure what is being built is suitable for them, I can say that in a way they will have hurt themselves. So responsible technology looks like you do not let technology evolve faster than you're evolving. You should evolve, you should be in the moment with technology. You should be able to grow with it. You should be able to give feedback to whoever is building for you. You should be able to do research, because I believe there are so many lawyers who do academic work. Those people should be writing research, and that is in the LSK website. So like there is a need for the profession to be proactively involved in the technological world. That's something that will give us responsible technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beryl. George, what does responsible technology look like from the court outward, and if you have a parting shot?
Yeah, well, I believe responsible tech would entail the existence of known policies about use of technology. Now, standardizing what everyone does with technology and ensuring that all of us are playing within the same rules of safety, privacy, dependability, you know, adaptability, like my colleagues have talked about. There has to be an intentional aspect of us trying to know how are we all regulating or regulated in the use of IT. Now, one of the things I've talked about in this book, this is a book that I did last year. It's titled Modern Law Firm Management. So it's setting up, running, and winding up. So what I've talked about in this book at chapter 7 is all the aspects of IT. Now, there are very key policies that all of us tend to believe. These policies are just applicable to big institutions, you know, the judiciary or the legislature or executive arm or these other organizations. Now, we are talking of tools or policies. For example, just allow me to read 2 or 3. we are talking of a cyber security breach policy. Even as we are running this CRM, do we ourselves as individual law firms or end users have cybersecurity breach policy? Do we have document management policies while handling, our clients' work? Do we have email and internet use policy? Do we have information security policy? Do we have a policy on use of AI tools? So a responsible tech initiative should actually consider having in mind applicable policies that are cross-board and we all understand. I think that will be my take on that.
Thank you so much. That's very important. And I hope lawyers, you're catching that, and especially lawyers who own law firms, these policies that govern digital, AI, and all that. So finally, Levi, the question was, what does responsible technology look like from the courtroom outward? And if you have any other parting shot.
Thank you. Not rocket science on my end. I was just reading yesterday an article in the Yale Law School Journal called The Decadence of Law from a Profession to a Business. So we are living in an interesting time because law is in between a professional and a business. And it affects even the way we reason as lawyers. I must say, the moment I realized that law is not only a profession, it's also a business. Initially, our good Justice here, Lenaola, I could spend the whole night reading his papers. I've bought his books. But now, after reading them for 2 hours, I'd pause and look for some marketing information and business acumen so that I can also read it, because I need to balance from the knowledge of the good judge in the courtroom to the acumen of a businessman in the streets, what people commonly call it street smart. So based on those two, when you talk about responsible use of technology, first, in the context of CRM, it is an appreciation that we have regulations that govern our profession as lawyers. We have the Advocates Act. We also have the SOPEC rules that govern our conduct. So as we move towards these digital platforms, we should not lose sight that we are still bound by the professional regulations of lawyers, in the sense that if you are talking about undercutting, I'm happy that one of my fellow panelists has mentioned that some of these platforms have been here for a while. I know one specifically called ZamuBrief, which also belongs to a friend of mine, is trying to develop it. So this, the beauty of this platform is that it allows an advocate to take up to 1,000 matters in a session. And it is an issue in the small claims court, especially with digital money lenders. So the advocate handling the matter can actually get to a digital money lender and take 1,000 briefs, which simply means is that you recover money from 1,000 people. So as you are taking that, are you still complying with the Advocates Act and the regulation that governs our profession? You cannot undercut, of course. There are limits to how you can market. There is, regulations on how you interact with the client. So as we embrace the beauty of this technology, let's not lose sight of the regulations that govern our profession. On the business flip side of it, the responsible use of this technology should allow advocates to earn a more decent living. We're in business. We want to earn money. So this technology should allow us to have financial responsibility and grow. So we expect that from the founders of such technologies. Tell us, this technology will make our work easy in the law firm. But before we get that work to be easy, we need the work itself. We need to build properly. And I really appreciate that they are timely, in the sense that we always hear of a joke that within this great institution, people are connected by several things. One, of course, is our love and passion for the law. And the second one is our dislike for mathematics. So lawyers are hardly inventive. We read, we retain, we spit out knowledge, but you hardly see an invention from a lawyer. So Komwanza, big up.
Please clap for him.
Thank you. This invention should come, and you should tell us how these inventions will make us make money as lawyers in a very competitive practice area. One of the things I can say is the economies of scale, as I've mentioned, because we are able to take more clients. The second thing that I've experienced myself in my firm using another version, a smaller version of such platforms, is that you are able to update your client very well. Stemming from my joke, as I was texting my client, I have a matter tomorrow, he told me, Wakili, your clerk already told me that 3 days ago. So it allows us to run our farms more efficiently. Then I can have time to run around looking for work. The third important item, it allows us to share clients. If you get a bulk of clients using such platforms, you can share clients with your younger colleagues. You can share clients with specialized. Sharing clients, I simply mean taking a job to another person so that we can improve and build what we call our financial prestige as a practice. My parting shot is that what is the role of LSK in all this? We have to ask ourselves. And I've pondered on this matter with Komwanza and other colleagues, and I think I've come to a reasonable conclusion, is that these platforms should grow. There are still regulations. There's nothing to fear. They are not operating in a vacuum. Let them grow. Let advocates embrace them. Most important, let clients embrace them and appreciate their benefits. I hope you'll have another session with our clients as opposed to ourselves as lawyers, so that the moment the clients embrace, then lawyers will also embrace it. It's a skill of marketing. So we are still operating in a regulation. Let it grow. At the point when problems start arising from it, then we can say, let us sit down and form specific regulations for CRMs in the legal profession. It is the normal analogy of what happens first. There is a problem, then the law comes. The law should not come before a problem. They was giving Komwanza a case of M-Pesa. M-Pesa was a very, innovative aspect in the financial sector. I remember it was taken to some big universities. They said it cannot work. But Safaricom were persistent. They introduced it. They did not go to look for regulatory framework from the central bank. It became popular among Kenyans. Then the central bank came and said, okay, is this a telecom innovation or is it a banking service? Let us now constitute regulations. I urge the founders to do that. Start, grow, open up for many other people. Let it become popular. Then we'll say, beyond the regulations that we have, what else can we add to ensure that CRMs run within the scope of our profession? Thank you.
Asante sana. Hasn't that been really, really enlightening? Asanteni sana. You have something to say? All right.
Sorry. Now, and I think it will be pointless for me to have come here without giving a dimension that I find lacking or missing in most of these CRMs, so that the developers and the founders and everyone who is here must also understand that whereas this is a CRM, which I want to believe it means customer relationship management, there is a way in which most of the CRMs around this country, and I speak this, I believe, with a fairly authoritative voice, having run a law firm for 17 years from scratch, that most of the CRMs around do not provide a 360 degree in terms of solutions. Everyone will talk about client relationship management in terms of file opening, updating a client, everything about mention dates, hearing dates, and so on. But one of the things they lack, and which I hope Wakili CRM is not going to miss, is the LPM aspect, which is the legal practice management. Because yes, after you have the clients, after you've updated them, after you've done all these things, is this app, is this software, is this program able to give me a trend within which I can do business development swiftly using the app? Is there a way it can give me a formula of doing my client acquisition and retention seamlessly through the platform? Now, that is the deal breaker, or that is the game changer when you compare international platforms like Clio, WebEx, and Practice Panther. They give you all these other aspects so that they are able to manage for you your human resource in the office. They are able to tell you this person is due to go for leave and so on. They are able to tell you this is the succession, the winding up, and the exit strategy of the firm, so that you're not just in an office with an app that you are paying annually to just tell you you have a mention date next week or a bring up. So I hope, for me, with this said, I feel like I have spoken to the people who will provide that solution. Asante.
Thank you so much. Could we kindly clap for our panel? Claire, Beryl, George, Levi, asanteni sana. Thank you so much. I hope the developers have heard, and I hope the lawyers have also heard. So, asanteni sana, you can now step off the stage. So this is that moment that we've been waiting for, to find out what does this product do. Just as the good Wakili said, lawyers, the first thing they do is drop mathematics, science, physics, chemistry. So when it comes to technical things to do with science, and I suspect this is why the uptake by lawyers is low. You know, because you're more the readers, the researchers, but when it comes to technology, you guys are not up to speed. So I would like to invite Michelle Adwek, who is the Chief Technical Officer for Wakili CRM, to kindly take us through how this looks like. CTO, I'm only giving you 10 minutes because I need the Honorable Justice to speak and for us to wind this. Asante sana. Kindly clap for him. Do you need the podium? Could somebody help us bring the podium? I think I'll sit up.
The Honorable Justice, our guests who have graced this occasion, thank you so much. I came here to demonstrate the product, but I feel that I'll be speaking to you, but based on what has gone behind us, I feel that I want us to speak. And so I'm really not going to demonstrate, demo the product. I'm going to answer the questions that have been asked by the previous speakers. As we will be doing the demo, just to, meet what I'm supposed to do here, but allow me first to speak about what I have heard you ask and how we have done it. Number one issue that has really come out clearly is the security. I can tell you for a fact that 2 years building a platform is not as a result of coding. It is as a result of listening to what people are raising, particularly lawyers. I remember there's a time Benjamin asked us a simple question that took me almost a month to answer in terms of code. Benjamin is in the house, he is an advocate, and he asked, will people in my farm see how we are making money? And I don't want that. That one took us, a step back to answer that question in the code. And so we relooked at what we are giving, because we want to build in the way a law firm works, law actually works. And that means we have to have the partners, the managing partners, the other practitioners. We need to have their farm admin there and everyone else within the law firm. And so if a question like, will my staff see how the money is going, we sat back and, or rather we sat back and rethought that yes, you need to give them a permission. If you give them a permission, they can do some work for you. But if you don't give them that permission, they'll not do the work for you. So what did we do? One, we came up with a very robust role-based access control, such that if there's anything I don't want to be seen by any other person in the law firm, I simply block them. They can see any other thing, especially if it is a matter or if they are, let's say, an accountant within the law firm. We only give them what they want to see. Number two, we came up with what we call the least privilege principle. We only give you what is relevant for you. So as a law firm, if a partner doesn't want another partner to see a certain file, just block them, or rather, don't share it with them. And so how did we look at, for example, file management? I am, let's say, the one who client assigned that particular matter. I'll have access to every file that is sent to the matter, but I'll control whoever has access to that matter. I'll show you that in this few minutes that I have. Number three is on zero trust. Zero trust architecture is where we don't save some way in which we encrypt data, such that, let's say, for example, I wanted some very sensitive files not to be seen whatsoever. Then, I simply provide a password to it. That password is not saved on the platform. If it is not saved on the platform, it means even if something happened and someone tried to access that password, or rather that file or any information within that matter, they'll not, because they'll need this password that you have on this other side, and there's no way they can do that. Number four is on, there's a question that came on confidentiality. Now, I have to say this, that we looked at security from zero up to the point it can get. And we have what we call encryption files, matter, everything about a matter, whether it is messaging within the platform, the names of people within that platform are encrypted, both at rest, that is when you save them on the servers, and when they are on transit. Now, this is what happens. And I'll answer that, because someone asked it, what happens when a system is hacked? And we know we can't run away from bad guys, and they are there sometimes to poke holes on where we have issues, and we can fix them. And so everything that is sent on the platform is encrypted. If someone hacked our website, let's say our server, what they'll find is gibberish. They'll find just letters. If it is a file, it will just be letters. If it is a name of a person, there'll just be strings of letters, unless they have the key to open that very file, which, as I've showed you, we implemented zero trust architecture, meaning they need that your very password, but they also need our encryption key that we save on our, or rather, that we use in our website. And so, when it comes to the document management, again, this is also another aspect that we have done, that you have a vault. A vault, as most of you know, and someone used the example of having a certain room where you store very highly sensitive files. And in this case, this vault belongs to you, protected by the password that only you can open. No one else, whether within your law firm or anywhere else, will have access to. But then there's a time we were having a chat with a notable advocate, and I'm not saying that the rest are not notable. you are, but really, what she asked us was, if a client has refused to pay, what happens? And such questions, informed our approach to developing Wakili CRM. And so we came up with a legal hold system, such that if this client has refused to do their part, I simply move the file or the matter to legal hold, where they can no longer do anything. And so I think I have about 4 minutes. Allow me then to take you through the system. This one mostly will not be very important. It simply acts as a point of entry. I want us to go to the actual database. And why I want to go to the database is this. I want to answer the question that an advocate raised about CRMs. And it was that CRMs will give you, you can have access to matters, or rather you can have access to thank you, that you can have access to your documents, you can have access to what is coming up. But then he pointed out that they are missing core things about the practice of law. And so our system is built in such a way that we have clients who can register on the platform. You can also register as a lawyer. But then again, if you are in a legal department within a corporate, you can also manage your practice from here. I don't want to, I'll try to go to demonstrate the lawyer bit because I want to answer the question on the 360 perspective of Wakili CRM. And now, again, by the way, looking at 2 years, why did it take 2 years? because we looked at what already exists. We knew that Clio exists. It doesn't belong to Kenyans. There's other platform that we also looked at, and we saw what was lacking, and which is why Wakili CRM, in my view, will stand out as we are going to demonstrate here. In the next few minutes, just log in as a lawyer. We really had, we could demonstrate the lawyer side, the staff side, the client side, but because of the time that I have, allow me to just go through the lawyer side so that I can clear this. So this is a two-factor authentication. So meaning one has to have, they can have your password, but they can't log in. 259986. Let me change her. Yeah. 5. Thank you. So very quickly, this is how Wakili CRM looks when you log in. You'll have, the summary of everything that is happening in your firm, including active cases, the tasks, upcoming deadlines. All of them will appear here. You'll see your case pipeline, everything like a summary in what is going on in your law firm. But I want to concentrate here and kindly, I hope you can see. Yes, so what is different here is this, that apart from just tracking your matters and seeing their status, is it active or not and processed, we considered, being that we are building towards how law actually works, here you can also be, manage your parties. You have parties, you can always add them here, so that when I share a file to these particular matters I'm going to show you, it doesn't have, this person will simply see it on their other side, even if they are not registered within the Wakili CRM. But then again, lawyers in most cases, let's say you are in one court session, and at the same time you are attending to another court session. You simply need to, go to the briefs, and you'll assign it to someone, let's say your friend, ask them, hold this brief for me. And when they do that, instead of them telling you, you'll always have that, what they gathered from the court session under the briefs within that matter. And so, very quickly, of course, this is just a way you can create a new matter if you wanted. You can create a new matter on behalf of a client. But again, you can also search within your matters depending on what you want to do. So allow me, in the next 1 minute or two, go through a particular matter. And in a particular matter, of course, this is now the actual file that you're working on. It gives you sort of summary of everything, or that you can do here. Allow me go to the details. And when you're here, if you look at these details, these are where you arrange your work. You arrange your work in such a way that if there are facts that you need to follow through the matter, this particular matter, you will have to put them there. You need parties, financial summary, evidence log here. If you click here, there are other several sections that you can add. For example, the legal strategy. What's the legal strategy that I want to use to win this case? And you can have all that data within that matter, so that when you come to this particular matter, you have everything in everything as per your as the way you arrange it, so that we don't define it for you how it's going to work. Number two, we looked at how do you handle files, for example, and we managed to come up so that there are cases that have several several files. We remember the one for Lori, for example, where, and that's just for side joke. Assuming that you have 1,000 files within for a matter, and you need to upload those 1,000 files, or files in this case are documents, we simply don't have to go one by one. You can always just upload a folder. Then that is basically what's happened here. I need to communicate to a client, or with a client, I simply communicate with them so that every communication is attached to this matter, rather than anything that is general that Wakilis we do on WhatsApp and Gmail, and email, so that the communication is always here. Now, on financials, we look at what is happening. I've gone to the court. I need to send my milestone. I'll always have it here, and client on the other side will just get a button, click and pay. Whether they pay with M-Pesa or they pay with cash, it's always here. And for you as a lawyer, you don't need to now go back to your Excel and record the payment, because the payment is already recorded for you here. And you'll always see everything that happens within this matter, whether it happens at the level where a staff did something, a paralegal did something on the matter, or a senior partner did something on the matter. You'll always find it here for your record. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, you see where we had the briefs. Here is where we'll have the briefs. You'll always have different other things that you can do. In the next 1 minute, allow me come to the documents. Of course, you can see all these documents. I'm not going to go through all that. I want to focus on these. Now, these are what I was showing us earlier on our approach to protecting your files, protecting privileges. And so here, you can see we have the legal vault. This is where I save my stuff. Just come back. Of course, we haven't set it up, but you need to set it up with your password so that it only belongs to you and no one else. When I come to the legal holds, this is where I'll put my files that I don't want anything to be changed on. Currently, and it's good, we are having conversations, especially with the judiciary, or rather with the fraternity, legal fraternity, on e-signatures. How do we know that e-signatures are, that this signature is acceptable? Currently, most of us, we use providers such as DocuSign, and we are already paying for them. How about if we have our own that is working, yeah, and you don't need to pay extra. But again, apart from the payment aspect, it's acceptable in the courts. It can be admissible in the courts. It's a conversation that we will have to have at some point in the future. Let's go here slightly. This workspace, of course, will just be about the things you do with regard to your matter. Now, in here, in research, we are not running away from the fact that AI is with us. And so there's an aspect of AI, but this is one thing that we are hiding from the client. Our platform uses AI, but we know that lawyers can make judgments on what they're handling, right? Yeah? But on the client side, we don't want them to use AI, so this is not there. And just come here. I've seen, especially when Wakili was working, he always has to go to LSK, or rather, not LSK, but law reports. This one. Law reports. How about if you are on Wakili CRM and you're able to get all the, all the case laws on the platform, and platform already understands the matter you're handling, such that when I am doing research, it understands I'm working on this matter, I am researching on this matter, I'm researching on these case laws that already exist here, such that what comes up entirely is an understanding of what I'm working on and the cases that can be referred to. As in, you see, the whole aspect of research being here. Now here, allow me, this is a feature that we got from one of advocates in trainee. Now, lawyers already have a forum, right? You have a forum on Facebook. You have a forum on WhatsApp. How about you have a forum on Wakili CRM where all the things that you talk about add together to form a knowledge base for your research, for your understanding, or rather for collaborations, such that whatever is being done here builds to the understanding of the way the profession works. And a lot more that happens there. And lastly, allow me to go to accounting. Most of this stuff I'll be personally available to take you through at your law firm when you call me. Because there are many, but I wanted us to touch on key things. Now, there was an aspect of how do I understand my farm? This is simply what is happening on your farm, the money that you get, how you use it, how you use it, because there are things you're paying and all that. But let me go to one specific one, the KPIs. Now, how about you understand your farm from everything, your partners, how you're handling cases, how you're dealing with billable hours, your collection rate, utilization rate, profit margins, revenue growth, and then the average case value. And someone talked about this, about clients wadogo. And if you're dealing with, let's say, 100 clients and pesa yao ni ndogo ndogo, this value will always be smaller, and you'll know how to pivot to get high value clients. How about if Wakili CRM was able to give you all that data that informs you about your law firm? As you can see, 2 years was really time to think, get feedback, and work on this. Some things I cannot mention. Just come here. But I'm just going to mention kindly in passing that we also considered compliance. How are you compliant with LSK? How do you track pro bono matters that you handle, and about the community impact. And here, on the administration, you can see that we are having almost like everything regarding how law firms work. The people that are within your firm, the partners, the staff, the departments within your law firm, and if you are a multi-office law firm, how do you handle different offices in different locations? All this, honestly, I cannot demonstrate all of them at the same time, but if you call me, or if you call us to your law firm, we'll go through each of them and answer every of your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Has he made sense? Has he answered a lot of your questions? Are you going to uptake this? As clients, we see the need for this, and we are definitely going to look for this guy. But at the end of the day, the users are lawyers. So it's very important for you guys, if you see the need for this, for you guys to uptake this. So we have reached that point. This is our last item of the night. We have with us a very important person. The Kenyan judiciary has done really well in digitization. I think we can all agree. And I think one of the questions that I asked Kevin was, why is it that the judiciary has done that well, but lawyers are still lagging behind? The issue of framework, resources, the judiciary has money, the judiciary is supported. All these things came up, you know, and I was just like, how are you guys going to be working with the judiciary when you guys are lagging behind? Your clients are way ahead when it comes to CRMs. The judiciary is way ahead, but lawyers are lagging behind. A lot of the things that you guys are talking about in terms of you feel like you have a lot going on is because you do not have management systems. Some of us, the only thing we need to do is to just, tunawasha tu simu, and the entire day we can see it, how it looks like. We can see the entire week, the entire month, the entire first quarter. We can see the strategy all to the end with other industries. And we really hope this is where we are going. So, I would like to invite the Honorable Justice, Supreme Court Judge Isaac Lenaola. Karibu sana.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. We've been here since the afternoon, so do forgive my error. Let me thank you, Claire, for initiating this contact with Kevin. I'd never heard of Kevin. He had never appeared before me. I'd never seen him until this evening, so it was quite interesting that we spent about 5 minutes together, and I almost got to know everything about him. And I'm happy that I have come to this event. Let me also pick up from where the MC stopped. Why are lawyers where they are? Why is the judiciary miles ahead of all the other institutions? 2 years ago, the President of the Republic came to attend a National Council on the Administration of Justice event at Safari Park. And he said to his ministers and PSs, I want you to go to Justice Lenaola, benchmark on how to uptake technology in the executive, because we are way behind the judiciary. And that is true. But you must remember that we in the judiciary were also, as usual, like Kenyans, we are last-minute people, we are crisis reactors. Until COVID, we were completely unable to have any discussion around technology. When I joined the judiciary in 2003, straight from the bar, and pretty young, black hair, not gray, I began a conversation where I was trying to argue that we must begin a conversation within the judiciary around having technology in our processes. And everyone looked at me and said, "What are you ujuaji lawyers? Vijana, you people are too young to bring us these things." And I recall when I joined the tribunal investigating the conduct of judges whose cases were hearing post the Ringera surgery, a former Chief Justice who was our chairman completely refused to allow me to bring in a Hansard system to record proceedings. He was quite happy at 76 to try and write proceedings with his pen. But here we are, and I'm quite happy that Kevin and his team have thought through this and are dragging the Law Society of Kenya and its officials and its members kicking and screaming into the digital age. I have attempted in my 5 years as chairman of the ICT Committee of the Judiciary to have a conversation with the ICT committee of the LSK. And I've hit a dead end. 2 months ago, I forced Mr. Assessor, chairman of the ICT committee of the LSK, to go with me to Estonia to see what Estonians are doing so that he could see what I've been trying to tell them. Why are you still carrying diaries to court? Why are you still carrying hard files to court? And I'm going to say something about that in a minute. Kevin, I think the theme of this launch should have been elevating practice, preserving principle. And the reason for that is that we are at a point where practice must be elevated to a principle level within the digital age. You and I know that when you ask a judge like me to speak in a public forum 10 years ago, they say judges only speak through their judgments. Lawyers would say, we live a life of records. We only speak through our records. Today, it is obvious to me that the age of manila folders, the hard files that I used to carry 23 years ago when I joined the judiciary, must come to an end. And I think today is that day. When we are telling ourselves, like Richard Susskind said, he wrote many years ago, and I've been happy to have met him 3 times, once at Oxford in 2018. And that's when he gave me his book, Online Courts and the Future of Justice. And I was very surprised when I was perusing George Omwanza's book. And at page 101, he begins the technology chapter with a quotation from Richard Susskind. Technology won't replace lawyers, but lawyers who use technology will replace those who don't. So if you think as an advocate or as a student of law, you can actually continue working in the old tradition, please go back and look after cows, a profession I abandoned when I came to Nairobi. And Richard Susskind also says that we must use technology to increase access to justice. And we must move beyond just digitizing traditional processes to redefining how justice is delivered. And that is the point that George Omwanza was making. We can't just digitize what we know as traditions without thinking about a 360-degree process which speaks to the issues that this system will speak to. And there's something that I had from the panel. Does technology follow the law, or will the law follow technology? The reason we're in the judiciary where we are is we chose not to be hamstrung by bureaucracy and policies and technology and the law. We moved with technology and then created policies, and the law is following technology. In a country such as ours, where we love bureaucracy, we love policies, we love systems, technology cannot wait for our tortoise pace because technology moves very fast. If you are not already as a lawyer or a judge using AI, by the time you wake up, the AI has moved on and you are struggling with the obsolete AI. And so today we are witnessing the birth of something we have discussed at coffee houses after court, and something you've discussed at court corridors, which you've discussed in your gossip forum called the WhatsApp. But what is important is that most legal tech is built by the most eloquent techie I've had in a long time, the guy who was here last, but he's getting the bad habits of lawyers. Do you recall how many times he said, the last minute? Were you not in the Supreme Court this morning? Mr. Ma? Were you not in the court today? Somebody else. But lawyers will say, my lord, finally. My lord, finally. So don't pick up techies, coders, don't pick the bad habits of lawyers. But what is important about Wakili CRM is that you can see it speaks the language of lawyers. All these issues are not known to laymen. And I'm happy that it's a lawyer who's leading in doing this. And therefore, from what I've read, and thank you, Claire, and thank you, Kevin, for sending the documents to me, what we are seeing is a legal technology, a practice management, professional services platform born from the trenches of our own professional struggles. And I think that has been spoken to more than I thought. And it's obvious that in the 4 years Kevin has been an advocate, he has suffered what I suffered for 13 years before I became a judge. And I'm happy that you have gotten yourself out of the trenches faster than I did. And from my reading and from what I've heard, I gather that the tool that you've built unites 3 critical pillars of your work as lawyers and my work as a judge. First is intelligent client relationship management. And so from what I've seen, you cannot anymore forget a client's name. So when you're looking for, you want to call your client, you scroll on your phone, you can't know, what is the guy's name? Because the name will be in here. I also notice that you don't have to search there through your WhatsApp messages. So you type, I think my client was from Lodwar, so you type Lodwar so that the WhatsApp can show you something about Lodwar, then you can get the case about your Lodwar client. This will not give you that opportunity. And I can see also that Wakili CRM remembers the history, tracks the promises you've made, look at the letters that would come out of the system, and ensures that professionalism does not end when the retainer is signed. It only deepens it. And again, please look and read at this message. It speaks to what this will do. Secondly, practice management that understands the Kenyan jurisdiction. From calculating timelines, to managing virtual hearing links, from secure document vaults, those who want to hide from each other, you've seen the vault, and to automated court diary syncs. Again, why this is important for us is that we in the judiciary at the back end have created a system where, for example, the Chief Justice has a dashboard where she can tell at a click of a button where each court is at whatever time. Which court is in session, which court is not, which court is on duty, which court is malingering. And you've heard her announce the other day that very soon we shall be releasing the output of every judge every month. The panic in the judiciary, my friends. The lazy bones cannot understand that technology has finally caught up with them. And thirdly, professional services workflow. And I think, George, again, you've spoken very, I think, eloquently about these questions. An advocate today is a strategist, is a counselor, is a project manager, is a businessman, is a manager. And someone asked, do lawyers go through therapy? I think there's need for therapy a lot more than you think. So you might want to have a portal where you track therapy. The point, therefore, is that by delegating, by tracking, by supervising, and delivering work without losing your sanity or your professional edge is a conversation we must continue having. And I think I need to speak to mental health here. A lot of us in the profession, on both sides, both the bench and the bar, are struggling with mental health. And I think part of it is because we are unable to manage our work. The reason why you are calling your clients at 10 is because you're running helter-skelter. In my days as an advocate, and by then I was told I was going to be a judge while chasing fees in the industrial area towards the end of the month. You're a tax collector, you're a debt collector, you're an advocate, so all those things affect you, and especially you guys from this generation who have not struggled with their lifestyle that those of us, for example, from the north, have had to live in our formative years. So, Kevin and team, I'm very impressed. And I was telling myself that it's obvious that you have courage. You are not a big law firm like Kaplan and Stratton. I did pupillage at Hamilton, Harrison, and Matthews, and I knew that even then they were way ahead of other law firms. They are way ahead even today. They use analytics to determine what kind of judgment may come out of a particular case. They can almost read our minds. So they say, Lenaola, how does it generally rule on matters like this? And they can advise their clients While you guys, small time, are just struggling. Hey, lenaola leo atafikiriaje, ameamkaje? Technology will help you stop worrying about how I woke up, whether I have a hangover, or whether I fought with my wife, and therefore how your case be, how will I handle it? So thank you, Kevin, and your team. You did not let go of the North Star. But I must speak about the integrity of not allowing mediocrity to rule your lives. If you allow yourself to be led by integrity, you will succeed, because even as you do these systems, even as you ensure that your systems are safe in the vault, what matters is your integrity. A lot of lawyers are struggling because they also don't know. I think Faith Odhiambo said it better than I could. You do not know where your money is because you don't know how you used it, how you received it. You get on M-Pesa, it gets mixed up with your own M-Pesa. You use it to pay school fees, pay your worker. When you, at the end of the month, you have no idea how your money has come, how your money has gone. But look at this system. It tracks your money as it comes, it tracks your money as it goes. It tells you, how do you have a client? I had a client called Kenya Yukia, and he had 14 matatus in Nairobi. And what he used to do was he had small to cases, small places in River Road where rent was 500 bob, 300 bob. So whenever he brought fees from matatus, you know those old notes, how would he carry it from River Road? You know that packet of UHT? He cuts it into half, makes it his wallet, and then puts the money there. So it's smelling of milk, it's smelling of chafiote matatu, and you have to receive it. But later I realized, am I really making money from this client? This will tell you when your client is not of value to you and when you must release them to those guys who have offices near Makadara locals. There's something that I've had here. We seem to fear technology. And I've spoken loudly to my colleagues in the judiciary, and I'm speaking to you as advocates and young lawyers. Do not fear technology. Technology is here, upende, usipende. So the earlier you embrace it, the earlier you accept to use it for your own good, the better. And this fear also that technology can let you, can let out some secrets. It will still come out. Look at the guys who avoid taxes, how they are being caught. So just accept technology is here, work with it, and be happy that you are born when technology is here. We need to curate technology. And I think this platform is the one we shall use to curate our technology. And it's good that it's come from somebody who practices with us, one of us. He knows the system, he knows the struggles, and therefore this is fantastic. To the team behind Wakili CRM, including, your name is Michelle. You have built more than a software. You have built a partner, and treat every advocate who signs up as the master. Because you can see from here, if you do not, the way you built it in 2 years is because you're getting feedback from those who have given it, you've gained access to. Do not then use it and hold it or become selfish with it. And so this remarkable tool, for me, is a game changer. You guys have realized that there's a better way than the way we have been doing things. And that therefore, the old fashionable style of guys walking from Milimani Court through Uhuru Park with their files, everything there, the receipts are in there, I think it's come to an end. So on behalf of all those who will build their hours faster, who sleep a lot better than before a hearing tomorrow, and I'm going to court in the morning, and those who close their files with a clean audit trail and not a fear, did the clerk eat the money? Did the secretary? There was something called PJs, private jobs, where the students do affidavits for 100 bob, the secretary gives forms for succession and makes some money, the court clerk goes to the court, and then together with the accountants, they deal with with the money, and then they give the lawyer fake receipts because they are printed fake receipts at the government printer. Those matters are behind us. And I'm happy that this system will help advocates like Giorgio Mwanza to run better practices than he has done in 17 years. So the way that we must appreciate this tool is to agree that the future of our practice is not replacing the lawyer. It is in empowering the lawyer, and this is real empowerment. And therefore, having seen what this tool means, I feel very jealous of you advocates, because had I remained an advocate of now 35 years standing, I would probably have used this to make my final bill before retirement. But since you guys are lucky to have it, make the best of it. Be better advocates, be better Kenyans, and above all, do it with integrity and to serve your clients with total integrity and with openness that we demand. And therefore, it's my great pleasure to declare the Wakili CRM officially launched. I wish you all the best. And may God continue to bless your practices and to continue to open your minds to these fantastic innovations. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Justice. Thank you so much. Bona developer, don't you think he's a salesperson? Justice, will you consider a career in marketing? Thank you so much. So, Wakili CRM is now officially launched. Congratulations. Oh, why am I the one behind this? Why am I the one behind this? So I wanted to call Kevin, the founders, Justice, for a photo. So we are going to have 3 photos. Justice, Kevin, the founders, and our panelists. Caroline, Bethwell, Dr. Benson, Rebecca, Ochi, please come on stage. Then after them, I'm going to have Justice Lenaola and all the lawyers in the house behind him to take a photo. So founders, Lenaola, all the panelists. I understand we also have an online audience. Asanteni sana for plugging in on this auspicious day. Yeah, so cameramen, instruct us whether we are all in the frame. Justice, you're in the middle. You're right in the middle. We're not balanced. I think some of these guys on this side come this side. Yes. Are we all in the photo? Are we all in the photo? Okay. In a count of 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Oh, for lawyers it's fees. You guys also thinking about money. Okay, in the count of 1, 2, 3, say fees. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, fees. Fees.
Costs.
Did you get it? In the count of 1, 2, 3, fees. Fees. Asanteni sana. All right, so now let me have all the lawyers in the house, the advocates. Lenaola, you're still here, Justice. Please, advocates, please come on stage. Any other advocates remaining? I'm not an advocate, so. Justice, one more group. Any other users? Oh, okay. Oh, students, yeah? Students, you're next. Students, you're next. Anzeni kupanga line. Thank you so much. Students, do we have students in the house? Please. Oh, there are many. There are many. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much for coming, because you are the next generation of the profession. And this is definitely something that we want you guys to buy, so that you'll not be like the millennials or Justice Lenaola saying, oh, I admire advocates. You guys will get into the profession with this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Justice, thank you so much. So with that, thank you so much. I'm going to call Ochi to come and give a vote of thanks. And thereafter, I'm going to invite all of you. We have more tea, we have more canapes, we have cake, we have sausages. Karibuni sana. Asante. I have been your host, Deborah Tendo, and I'm definitely going to be the first uptaker of this. I think our head of legal was here, but he left. So I'm going to be talking about this a lot. If you know anything about me, you know I'm very loud, because I believe visibility is the first thing. You know, visibility. People have to know that it exists. And I know that for you lawyers, you are a bit shy of social media, of social spaces, but we are the loud people, and we're going to be talking about this a lot, so that even your clients are going to be aware that this exists. It will reach a point where your clients are going to be asking you, kwa nini unanipigia simu saa nne? Hauna wakili CRM? Eh? Kwa nini nini? We are going to reach that point. So if I were you, I'd better be preparing myself right now to adopt to this. Asanteni sana. You've been such a great group. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, co-MC. Makofi kwa co-MC. See, when I met Tendo inside there, and I said, I'm in presence of greatness. She's such a great lady. If you've not read her book, please get it. If you're a student, I can get you a copy or two, because nowadays I've made small money from running down. You know, when people speak out there, they just want to be constitutional lawyers, what. Running down will save you a lot, eh? You need to get money first before you can branch into those other constitutional things, commercials, what. Anyway, it has been nice. It has been a good evening. In a special way, I want to thank all of you for making time out of your very busy schedules. Meeting was put at 3 p.m. And you know, I wanted to ask Omwanza, what happens at 3 p.m., you know, other than burials, yeah? People need to do burials at 3 p.m., but the meeting was supposed to begin at 3 p.m., but you kept time, all of you. We really appreciate it. Our chief guest, my friend, long-time friend, son of Secretary Tapon Seia. Tumeshukuru sana, Judge. for taking out the time out of a very busy schedule, and tomorrow you have matters. We don't take it for granted. Omwanza being the lead and the co-founders, you've done great. You know, Omwanza is such a go-getter. He has done a book. Where is he? He has done a book, by the way, which did I edit it? What did I do to it? Yeah, I read it before anybody else. That is a very good book. You can also seek it out. And thank you for making this come to be. We've met over coffee. He's been paying my coffees as we discussed this, because, you know, I'm very, very analog. Even though I was the chair of ICT when I was at the Law Society of Kenya representing advocates, even if I don't look like it. I was representing Nairobi Advocate, the way you see me here. So we came from the village to conquer. Thank you, law students. We really appreciate your time as well. I don't know when orals are, but taking your time to come and listen in, see new technological advancement that LSK, the lawyers are bringing in place. It's such a good thing. Always be coming to these events. I think there's another one on Friday by judges. Is it not? On the library? Yeah, so you're also welcome to that. Just come and hear what judges have written. Thank you. So you can also join on Friday at the National Library. In that place is Milimani, around Milimani Law Courts. Please come and hear out judges, make contacts, networks. You know, in this age and time, it is always said that your network is your net worth. So always come, always appear. I'm being reminded by Omwanza. You know, there's Omwanza. Okay, thank you. So George is Omwanza. George Omwanza, the author. Then the gentleman who brought it is Omwanza. Then JC Commissioner is Omwanza. So he's saying this book is on offer, discount at 1,500. Yeah, even though I had carried some for free for students, but you guys can buy this. I don't know how to spoil business. You know, during campaign, I was the chief distributor of this book for my candidate, Peter Wanyama. And I have some left. But please buy this. I'll come back to Law Society, the Kenya School of Law, and give them out through Mwalimu, Carol Oduor. Carol, thank you also very much for making time. And we wish you well as even you are salivating for JSC. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fanny, for praying. May God continue blessing you at Fanny Kwega and Company Advocates, PA Kwega. And may your Flow Foundation, she runs a very good foundation, helping girls out there to have dignity through that Flow Foundation. So thank you very much, engineers. Thank you much for the work you've done. Judge said that you don't join us in finally. But you can learn better from lawyers. We nowadays don't do a lot of finalies. So in all, it is always said that all's well that ends well. And as Tendo said, we still have a lot of things there we can take. Let chef, they call chef, know that we love the things they have made. You know, if you leave somebody with all these things, where are they taking it? Even me, I can't eat a lot of it, all of it. But please let us come after this. We come and eat as we leave. We'll be closing with a word of prayer. Oh, no, before close. Mob, I'm saying all the boys, eh? We take notice. We really appreciate you. Please stand and wave so people can know you are around. If you've always been following Tendo, you know the anchor in her life, Mr. Owiso. Please, my coffee. Yeah, really admire you too. You really inspire us in a way, so we really like it, especially when you go out together in foreign lands. Even as we go out locally, that day will come when we can meet at Heathrow. So tutasimama, and Fanny, please just come and close for us. You are today our prophetess. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. May God bless you and your villages.
Thank you, everyone. Let's close our eyes. Father Almighty God, we come unto you once more this evening. At the start, we asked you that you walk with us, you be with us as we hear from all our guests and the founders of this beautiful platform. Father, you've been with us through it and the speeches that have been given. We pray that as this launch takes sail, you will be with it, and that advocates will use it and benefit from it, Jehovah God. As we end this session, we thank you and we honor you. As we leave this place to our various destinations, may you go with us and may you protect us on the road, Jehovah God. Guide us and be with us in the night and throughout the week. For whatever that we have not asked for, may you ask for us, Jehovah God. I pray this, trusting and believing. Amen.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. So you can please come and utilize.